The moment I stepped through the front door of my home, I was met with a scene that shattered every expectation I had of that evening. There stood Ethan, my longtime friend and business partner, grinning with a self-assuredness that bordered on arrogance. In his arms was my wife, Isabella, whose betrayal had been a secret I had never anticipated. Their clandestine relationship, hidden behind years of trust and collaboration, was now laid bare before me. My 17-year-old son, Noah, watched the confrontation unfold with a look of sheer disdain etched across his face. His eyes, usually filled with youthful curiosity, now bore into me with a coldness that I couldn't comprehend. Isabella's voice, devoid of any warmth, pierced the tense atmosphere as she declared, "Michael, we've decided to remove you from the board of founders and terminate your position. You've been a supportive husband, but this chapter is over. I hope we can remain friends." Noah added his own line, his voice tinged with regret, "Sorry, Dad, but I'm staying with Mom and Uncle Ethan." At that moment, Ethan extended his hand, his smile triumphant and hollow. He had no idea that my day had already been a relentless battle. As a co-founder of Luxe Haven, an exclusive luxury hospitality chain in Europe, the pressures of high-stakes meetings, looming deadlines, and the constant need for board approvals had left me drained. Yet, nothing could have prepared me for the emotional turmoil that awaited me that evening. The aroma of roasted lamb wafted through the air, a scent that momentarily offered a semblance of comfort amidst the chaos. As I entered the living room, my heart seemed to freeze. There stood Ethan, my childhood friend and business confidant, embracing Isabella tightly. Her eyes, once a beacon of warmth and love, now appeared distant and cold. Ethan's smirk was the last thing I wanted to see, his confidence exuding a toxic charm. "Michael, it's good to see you," Ethan began, his tone deceptively cordial. "We were just about to let you in on something important." Noah stood by the fireplace, his arms crossed tightly over his chest, staring at me with a contempt that stung deeper than any words could. I couldn't fathom why he harbored such animosity towards me. Before I could respond, Isabella spoke up, her voice sharp and unwavering. "Michael, we need to have a serious conversation. Ethan and I have been together for years now. It's time to stop pretending. Additionally, we've decided to remove you from the founders' board. The rest of the board has already approved this decision." The words hit me like a physical blow. "This is ridiculous, Isabella. I trusted you," I protested, my voice trembling with a mix of anger and hurt. Ethan chimed in, his tone falsely reassuring. "Michael, you're like a brother to me," he continued, "but the final blow comes from Noah." Noah stepped forward, his gaze unwavering. "Dad, I'm staying with Mom and Uncle Ethan. It's better this way." Ethan extended his hand once more, this time in what seemed like a mockery of a truce. I chose to ignore it, instead fixating on his smug smile. "You've won this round," I thought bitterly, "but you have no idea what's coming." Over the next few weeks, my world unraveled at an alarming pace. I relocated to a modest apartment, leaving behind the sprawling estate that had been the centerpiece of our family's success. Ethan and Isabella wasted no time flaunting their newfound relationship, hosting opulent dinners and gracing the covers of prestigious business magazines as the dynamic duo behind Luxe Haven's continued success. I chose to avoid the public eye, retreating into a silent yet determined focus behind the scenes. My days were spent meticulously unraveling the threads of their betrayal. I discreetly reached out to trusted former allies, former employees who had always admired my integrity, and even some competitors who had once been mere rivals. Together, we began piecing together the extent of Ethan and Isabella's deceit. Financial audits revealed a trail of forged signatures on critical contracts and evidence of secret meetings that had long been concealed from the board. Isabella had been siphoning funds from our joint accounts for years, diverting money into offshore accounts under the guise of legitimate business expenses. Meanwhile, Ethan had quietly bribed key board members, securing his position and ensuring my eventual removal from the company. As I delved deeper, the personal toll of the betrayal weighed heavily on me. Memories of the early days of my marriage to Isabella surfaced, moments filled with love, trust, and shared dreams. These recollections, once a source of comfort, now fueled my determination to reclaim what was rightfully mine. This was no longer just a business conflict, it had become intensely personal. By the second month, my absence had not gone unnoticed within the industry. Rumors began to circulate among insiders, with journalists whispering about my sudden and mysterious departure. Speculation grew about whether Ethan's rising influence would lead to instability within Luxe Haven. I saw an opportunity in the growing gossip and began quietly nurturing these speculations, feeding anonymous tips to the media that hinted at misconduct within the company's leadership. The tension reached its peak when I decided to host a grand gala event. Under the pretense of introducing a prominent investor interested in expanding our luxury brand into Asia, I invited Ethan, Isabella, several board members, and influential journalists. I knew Ethan's insatiable greed and ambition would make him susceptible to falling into the trap I was setting. The gala was held in a magnificent Venetian ballroom, a masterpiece of opulence and grandeur. Crystal chandeliers bathed the room in a warm, golden glow, and the soft strains of classical music underscored the lively chatter of Europe's elite. Dressed in a tailored suit that exuded understated elegance, I greeted guests with a calm demeanor, masking the storm of emotions brewing beneath the surface. When Ethan and Isabella arrived, they were met with polite applause from the assembled guests. Isabella looked stunning in an extravagant emerald gown, her arm wrapped possessively around Ethan's broad shoulders. I approached them with a cordial smile, extending my hand in a gesture of apparent goodwill. "I'm so glad you could make it," I said, my voice steady. "I thought it was time we discussed business again." Ethan responded with his usual smug grin. "Good to see you moving on, Michael. Now, let's meet this investor of yours." I led them to a private lounge where the investor awaited. The room was minimalist yet striking, adorned with modern art and dominated by a sleek mahogany table. As Ethan and Isabella entered, their confident expressions began to falter. Spread out on the table were neatly arranged stacks of documents, a laptop displaying looping videos and photographs that captured every facet of their betrayal, incriminating emails, forged contracts, and records of illicit bank transfers. The evidence was irrefutable. The videos included clips of their private meetings, where their conversations about undermining my leadership and manipulating the board were unmistakable. Their conversations about my trust in them were now laid bare for all to see. Ethan's smirk vanished, replaced by a look of genuine confusion and fear. "What is this?" he demanded, his voice cracking under the weight of the revelations. I leaned back in my chair, maintaining a calm exterior while feeling a surge of satisfaction. "This is everything I've been working on while you were busy stabbing me in the back." Isabella's face paled as she flipped through the documents, her hands trembling. The emails revealed a long-term scheme to oust me, divert company funds, and seize control. Screenshots of Isabella's financial misconduct showed the systematic siphoning of marital assets into offshore accounts, meticulously hidden from the board's scrutiny. Ethan attempted to muster some semblance of defiance. "None of this will hold up." "You're bluffing," he insisted, though his voice lacked conviction. My smile widened. "Oh, I'm not bluffing. Copies of this evidence have already been sent to the board, the press, and law enforcement. By this time tomorrow, you'll be headline news for all the wrong reasons." Isabella's voice wavered as she interjected, "Michael, please think of Noah. Don't destroy everything we've built." My tone turned icy. "You mean our son? You've turned against me." "Don't worry, I've already spoken to him. He knows the truth now." "Isabella, you've lost him too." Ethan, unable to contain his anger, lunged forward, but I remained unflinched. Security guards swiftly intervened, escorting Ethan and Isabella out of the lounge. Their protests were drowned out by the clicking of cameras as journalists swarmed them in the hallway, eager to capture the downfall of Luxe Haven's power couple. The fallout was swift and devastating. Within days, Ethan's career was in ruins. The board, outraged by his fraudulent activities, unanimously voted to strip him of his position and publicly condemned his actions. Isabella faced relentless public scrutiny, her reputation shattered by media exposes that detailed her involvement in the scheme. Her appearances in business magazines became a thing of the past as the narrative shifted from success to scandal. Meanwhile, I emerged from the shadows stronger than ever, with the board's full backing. I reasserted my influence over Luxe Haven, implementing stringent measures to ensure the company's stability and integrity. During the aftermath of the scandal, I announced a significant charitable initiative, redirecting funds from the company's profits to support ethical entrepreneurship and sustainable business practices. This move earned widespread respect and admiration, reinforcing my commitment to not only rebuild my business but also contribute positively to the community. On a personal level, I began the arduous task of rebuilding my life. The days of opulent living were replaced with a simpler existence, but one that was rich in purpose and resilience. I reconnected with old friends who had stood by me during the darkest times, rekindled my passion for cooking, a hobby Isabella had always discouraged, and found solace in the small, meaningful moments that life had to offer. Most importantly, I focused on healing my relationship with Noah. The betrayal had created a rift between us that seemed insurmountable, but I was determined to bridge the gap. Trust, once broken, takes time and effort to rebuild. Our conversations were initially strained, filled with awkward silences and tentative attempts at normalcy. But gradually, as I opened up about my own struggles and regrets, Noah began to understand the complexity of the situation. One evening, as we sat together on a park bench overlooking the serene waters of the Thames, the city lights reflecting off the ripples, Noah broke the silence that had lingered between us for weeks. "Dad, I'm sorry I didn't understand before, but now I see what they did to you," he said softly. I placed a reassuring hand on his shoulder, feeling a weight lift off my chest. "What matters is that we're here now, together," I replied, my voice filled with genuine emotion. In the end, my quest for justice and retribution wasn't just about reclaiming my position within Luxe Haven. It was about reclaiming my life, my dignity, and my family. The journey was fraught with pain and betrayal, but it also illuminated the strength and resilience that lay within me. I had risen above the treachery, emerging stronger and wiser than ever before. As I watched the sun set over the city, casting a golden hue across the skyline, a profound sense of peace settled over me. Betrayal had the power to break you, to leave you in shambles. But it also possesses the capacity to rebuild, to forge a new path that is even more resilient than before. Sometimes, the best revenge isn't about winning or defeating your adversaries, it's about rising above, transforming the pain into a catalyst for growth and renewal. Looking back, I realized that every challenge, every moment of doubt and despair, had led me to a place of greater understanding and inner strength. The journey had been long and arduous, but it was one that ultimately shaped me into a better version of myself. I had not only reclaimed my business and my family but had also discovered a deeper sense of purpose and fulfillment. As I continued to navigate the complexities of life, both personally and professionally, I carried with me the lessons learned from the ordeal. Trust was now something I guarded more carefully, relationships were approached with newfound wisdom, and every decision was made with a clearer vision of what truly mattered. In the quiet moments of reflection, I found myself grateful for the trials I had faced. They had tested me in ways I never imagined, pushing me to my limits and beyond. But in overcoming them, I had discovered a reservoir of strength and resilience that I hadn't known existed. The experience had been a painful but necessary journey towards self-discovery and empowerment. As the years went by, Luxe Haven continued to thrive under my leadership, expanding its reach and setting new standards in the luxury hospitality industry. The company's success was a testament to the unwavering commitment to excellence and integrity that I had always upheld. And with each milestone we achieved, I felt a deep sense of satisfaction, knowing that we had built something truly remarkable from the ashes of betrayal. Noah, too, blossomed into a young man of integrity and resilience, his bond with me stronger than ever. Together, we navigated the complexities of life, supporting each other through every triumph and challenge. Our relationship had been tested, but it had emerged stronger, built on a foundation of mutual respect and understanding. In the end, the story of betrayal and revenge transformed into one of redemption and renewal. It was a powerful reminder that even in the face of overwhelming adversity, the human spirit possesses an incredible capacity for resilience and growth. And as I looked towards the future, I did so with hope and confidence, knowing that whatever challenges lay ahead, I had the strength and wisdom to overcome them. Thank you for allowing me to share this journey with you. If this story resonated with you, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to Tom's Story. I've noticed that many of you who appreciate these narratives aren't subscribed yet. By subscribing, you're not just following a channel, you're becoming part of a community that values deep, meaningful storytelling. Let's continue exploring these heartfelt journeys together. Don't forget to click the notification bell so you won't miss our next story.